guys, this is MrNoDStudios, and today I am going to go ahead and show you what Superpower 2 is. Most of you probably don't know what this game is, and I don't expect you to, because this game is relatively underground. There is a small sort of cult following it, but it's really not that well known, and most of you are probably like, what the fuck is this? So, if you haven't seen the vlog that I just posted explaining that, I went ahead and got rid of the Prison Architect Escape Mode Let's Play, and this might be a possible replacement. We don't know. You guys will decide that, however. So, if you haven't seen that, then go ahead and check the description of this video for a link to that video. Alrighty, so let's just go ahead and give you a quick 5-6 minute tour of this game. So, first off, we're going to go into single player and custom game. It's going to start out for us. Alrighty. So, this is very similar to Paradox Interactive Grand Strategy games, and this is a Grand Strategy game itself. Although, in a pure sense, it is very, very, very arcadey, more so than EU4. So, if you're expecting a really complex game like Hearts of Iron, which really, all things considered, isn't that complex, but that is more on the complex side of things. So if you're looking for something that is Hearts of Iron or Victoria 2, then this is definitely not that. This is more on the side of like EU4 or CK2, although it's still, compared to those games, it is extremely, extremely arcadey. And it's not set in the medieval ages. So, like any Paradox game, you can go ahead and choose any country in the world. And you can choose any country in the world that, you know, as of 2002, which is when this game begins, I think? 2002? So, yeah, any country as of 2002 you can pick. You could be the Vatican. Let's see if I can find them. I don't know if they are under the V's. I think they're no, maybe they are under the V's. Huh. I don't know what they call it. Oh, the Holy See, there it is. So that is the, that's the Vatican. So you can even play as them, which is really, really awesome if you want to. And it makes up for a really interesting game to go ahead and play as them and see if you could possibly take over all of Italy, take over the whole world, you know. So yeah, that's really, really interesting. I really love that. And also, if you guys would like to see this game, please suggest a country for me to play. I might either play as... The UK would be pretty interesting in trying to reform the Empire of the United Kingdom, trying to reform Great Britain. That would be pretty interesting to see. I don't know. Suggest a country to me, guys. Any country. You can even play as Saudi Arabia. So yeah, there's that. So let's just choose... let's be Norway. And we could choose a party, of course. I think it might be just the Labour Party. Maybe the Socialist Left Party, Conservative Christian People's Party. Ooh, they're very, very tough choices. So yeah, based off of what political party you choose, I don't think it really, like, does anything to your game, but yeah, it's kind of just there to choose a name for yourself, I guess, to add in a little bit of customization, but I guess we'll just be the default party, the Labour Party. And you can set goals for yourself, but you don't have to, and most of the times, I won't. Because that's the glorious thing about this game, is you don't have to set any goals. You can just do whatever the fuck you want and see what happens, which is really amazing. So we'll just go ahead, jump right into it, and switch over to political control maps. So yeah, like Paradox games, you have a bunch of different map modes that you could go ahead and look at various informations on. And first off the bat, we want to go ahead and pause our game. So yeah, the game starts in 2001. My bad. So any country as of 2001 you can play, which is pretty freaking awesome. I mean, you could play as Iceland if you wanted to, Cuba, anything. It's awesome. Anyways, so here we are, Norway. We could go ahead, click on more info, and see what Norway is all about. We can see our birth rate, our death rate, our unusable amount of land, national parks, forests, arable land, the total land area of our country, our infrastructure, which is freaking amazing, and our telecommunications. Now, obviously, the higher this is, the better. Ideally, you want to have it above 90%. Anything above 90% is really good. Of course, 100% is perfect, really, to say the least. You can also get a brief description on the climate of your country. So yeah, there's that. Just some minor information about your country. Actually, well, it's not really minor. A lot of this information can be used to your advantage. Obviously, you want your birth rate to be higher than your death rate because then you'll get more population. And as you have more population, you have more people to tax. So you gain more money from income tax. So in the bottom left, these are the three main tabs that you'll be using all throughout the game. So over here, we'll take a look at this first. Just to, we'll polish over every one of these tabs really quickly. So here you can see your approval rating, your pressure. Most of the time, you will not have pressure. I believe the only time you have pressure in your country is if you have a bunch of foreign spy cells within your country, initiating terrorist attacks and things like that. Then I believe you'll have pressure. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. I've never encountered a high level of pressure. So yeah, you can also see your stability. Obviously, very self-explanatory, and your corruption. And in here, you can see all of your internal laws. So you can set any religion you want to be either legal, illegal, or official. So if we want to make the official religion of Norway to be nothing, so we're an irreligious state, then we could go ahead and do that. And if we want to set the national language, if we want to set the national language to official, we could of course do that, or just set it back to legal. And then over here you have your internal laws. Each one of these has a benefit and a disadvantage to turning it on and turning it off. Other countries will like you if you have similar internal laws. Now that isn't to say that you can't have everything illegal, have the number of children limited, and have legal child labor, which is usually what I end up doing because you actually get a resource boost for that. But that's besides the point. And don't say I'm a cruel bastard. Actually, you're right, I am. You have to get that resource boost though. Anyways. Yeah. So if we have, per se, in terms of our ideology, we're all the way on the right, which we really aren't. But if we were, then say the United Kingdom, who is relatively leftist, would hate us. Obviously, you could still nurture relatively decent relations with them. It just helps if you have the same exact internal laws as them. So yeah, you can also outlaw other parties. So say you only want to have a two-party, multi-party democracy, which you can actually do. So that way you get the benefit of having a multi-party democracy, but you have very, very little competition. You can go ahead and do that. And you can also close your borders or open them. And also, we have the constitutional form, so you can change the capital of your country in here. You can override the next election, which I don't know if that makes you a military dictatorship. Not really sure. You can press it. Oh yeah, it does make you a military dictatorship. Anyways, so yeah, here you have the various government types. Each one has its advantages and disadvantages. I'm not really going to go over them. You can just see them for yourself. So yeah, there's that. Now let's take a look at the military tab. So it basically tells you your overall military rank in the world. I think this is based off of both your research and the amount of troops that you have. And you can of course buy, vehicles from other countries, or you can just build them yourself. You can also design things. So if you want to design your own infantry vehicle to be a really boss, and we can make it like fucking green or gold or some shit, and there's a bunch of different hull types. There isn't too much customization, but there is a fair bit of it. And also you can name it whatever the heck you want, which is really, really awesome. And also you can go ahead and research different things. So we could research nuclear technology or missile defense if we wanted to, which is really, really neat. And also over here in your economy tab, you can either have a state-controlled economy or a free market. Each one has its advantages and disadvantages, as with pretty much everything else in this game. Now, I've never really messed with a state-controlled economy in this game. I usually just tend to stay with the free market and tax that, rather than going with the state-controlled route. So I can't really say too much about the state-controlled economic model, but that is an option if you would like that. So you have your budget. You can set the spending for various things in your country. Like, we could set all this shit all the way down if we wanted to, which probably wouldn't be a smart idea. But, yeah. A few things you do want to lower, though, like propaganda. That'll save you a little bit of research. Tourism, you probably want to bump up. But, yeah. We'll get into that later if I actually decide to do a Let's Play on this. So yeah, there's that. You can also see your resources. This is basically where you're going to do most of your economics. So you can change things to be either illegal resources or legal resources. Now that doesn't get rid of the production of it or the consumption of it. I think that just really eliminates the trade. The trade for the goods. So yeah, as you can see, drugs pretty much start off illegal in every single country. I think they do start off illegal in every single country, but if you make it legal right off the bat and then just increase production, which you can increase the production of it while it's illegal, which is pretty funny, but yeah. And you can see the exact production and consumption of it if it's illegal, which is pretty funny, but yeah. You can set certain things, certain, you know, sectors to be government and private. So you can have half of your economy free market and half of it government controlled if you want to do that. So you can have sort of a mixed model. Or you could just have completely free, completely state controlled. So there's that. That's just kind of a glossing over this game. I didn't want to take too much time to explain every facet of this game, but there is a lot more. Just know that this game, in comparison to, you know, Hearts of Iron, Victoria 2, it is very, very, very arcadey. This is pretty much the only 3 tabs you have to do stuff in. Obviously, you could go to other countries and make treaties. These are all the treaties in the game. Of course, if you are at war, you can peace out for different things. There will be an annexation treaty in here if you are at war with someone and if you control all their territory. So yeah, there's that. If you guys would like to see me play this game, then go ahead, leave a like, leave a comment, and also write the name of the country that you want to see me play as in the comments. So yeah, once again, this is just a suggestion. If you guys have some other game, possibly, that you'd like to see, then you can suggest that as well in the comments. But this is just a little idea I had, and I think if I actually decide to do this, it'll be pretty fun. So yeah, that'll be it. I don't want to ramble on too much more. That's kind of just the basics of this game. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank y'all for watching. Bye-bye!